Veritus is the sequel to Prodigal, a Zelda-like with a lot of charm and style to it. And for the sequel, we have a smaller, more contained game, but still full of plenty of secrets for the action-adventure fans. Veritus takes place sometime after the events of Prodigal. It's unknown at the point, but our hero Aaron is older, sports a beard, and has been called on to investigate a mysterious castle of endless shadow and darkness. And when he and his crew arrives, they will be met with floors of danger, puzzles, and many secrets. The story certainly goes in a lot of different directions and brings up a lot more lore of the world. Now, I didn't finish the true ending of Prodigal, so I don't know if these characters were introduced at some point there, or are they new to Veritus. And I hope that we do get a little bit more backstory information about what is kind of happening in the state of the land. As for our gameplay, we are trading in the kind of open, top-down Zelda style of Prodigal for more of a focus on dungeons. Each floor is a dungeon unto itself, complete with different enemies, puzzles, and secrets and items to find. Beat the floor and you'll be able to move on to the next. Now, if you're hoping for a variety of tools and items, Veritus does not have that at the moment. You'll have your mainstays from Prodigal returning and a new crafting system in place. You'll be able to craft different weapons and boots out of materials that you find, and I'll talk more about that one in the next few minutes. As you explore each floor, you'll be introduced to more of the lore and secrets as to what is happening, and once you reach the boss fight, you'll be returned back to the hub where you'll be able to spend some of your resources, and you can return to previously cleared floors to find more items, and so on. As for the general gameplay and puzzle solving, the game is definitely an equal mix of both. You'll find return of Sokoban style puzzles, as well as trying to make full use out of your abilities, and clever players and fans of the original should be able to get some very fun sequence breaks and exploits going on, once you know how things work. Now, for the overall difficulty, this is where we kind of get to some of the issues I had with Veritus. So, the big one is that while this one does follow the same kind of Zelda-style top-down or isometric gameplay, there's a far greater focus on combat, where you are still locked to the cardinal directions when it comes to swinging your pickaxe or using some of your special abilities. The enemies, however, are not. And there are a lot of situations where enemies could come at you from weird angles and there's just no way to hit them. And then I had issues with hitboxes where, even though I saw my pickaxe hit the enemy, they didn't take any damage. And this definitely became a little bit more annoying in some of the later parts of the game, especially some of the more combat-heavy sections. The penultimate boss fight in particular is going to be a very challenging affair if you're not used to this kind of combat or you didn't spend time getting upgrades. From a quality of life UI UX standpoint, I do have a few complaints as well. There did not seem to be a map or any kind of mapping functionality in this one, and this made it a bit hard sometimes to figure out where you are on the floor or try to get around to where you haven't been just yet. There's no easy way to return back to the hub either. When you die, you'll return to the start of a floor, but it would have been nice to have the option just to head back once you've found the secrets and whatnot. Now, the crafting system in this game is not my favorite. Basically, they want you to put 3 items in and you'll get something back, and while items are organized in terms of tiers, it would have been really helpful to have kind of like a recipe list or crafting list, so I know what does what and that kind of thing. Because anytime you craft a new pickaxe or boots, it replaces your current selection. It's going to be very annoying if you're trying to experiment and you accidentally got rid of your best pickaxe or the boots that you like. With the kind of challenge of the game, it can definitely feel a little bit off here and there because a lot of the difficulty is going to come down to how quickly you can just burn through some of the enemy's health. Get an upgraded pickaxe and you can just tear through a boss, sometimes where you even have a chance to complete their full cycle. Now, if you can't figure it all out, Veritus is certainly not going to be a lengthy game. We actually almost beat this in about 4 hours of play. I probably could have done it sooner if I didn't get stuck on a few of the bonus challenges. But there is something to keep in mind. Prodigal and Curse Crackers, Colorgrave's previous games, both received post-release support in terms of adding in New Game Plus and kind of a true ending challenge. So I'm sure with Veritus we will see more of this game coming down the line. But for right now, it will be on the shorter side, and it will leave you with more questions than answers, unfortunately. Overall, I think I still prefer kind of the span and scope of Prodigal more than Veritus. The issue, I think, with the story is that because so much is introduced without any real kind of explanation or connection, it makes it hard to really grasp or connect with these characters. And there's a lot of stuff surrounding Auron that we really don't get to see anything kind of answered or resolved by the end of the game. I still enjoy this one. If you're a fan of the Zelda-style dungeon crawling mix of action, adventure, and puzzles, then this is an easy recommendation. And I do hope that we see more of this game, especially some more like game modes, New Game Plus, that kind of thing. And hopefully get a somewhat of a resolution to what will come next in this world. But with that, Veritus was played with a press key provided by the developer. If you'd like me to play your game for a future stream and video, please reach out. Let me know what you think about this one or the other games from Colorgrave down below. And until our next review, have a great night. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.